how did you deal with pain? If I can give you guys 4 tips, these would be it. Would you do unmedicated again? Will there be a baby bonilla number 3? Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Ellie. If you're new here, I just had my second baby. We are just a little over a month postpartum now, and she's actually right next to me, so you might hear her here and there. She might be joining me every once in a while for feedings, so don't mind her. My husband and I recently shared our birth story and our birth vlog, and we got really nice feedback, and I want to just thank you guys so much for being so sweet and all. We did go the unmedicated route, and I still cannot believe I was able to do that. Today we're going to be talking a lot about that, like what did I do, what helped me, did I practice anything beforehand, and all those things. When we shared our birth story, originally we were going to add a Q&A at the end, but the video ended up being a lot longer than we expected, so we decided to do a whole separate video on the Q&A questions that you guys asked us. I put a poll on my Instagram and you guys were able to ask us any questions regarding the birth, and almost all of them were about pain management. So I thought it would be a good idea to make that the main topic of the video, and then we're also going to be answering all the other questions that you also asked. My goal for this video is to be a help, or maybe even a guide to the direction you want to go to, or maybe even just a starter point. Also, by no means am I trying to encourage you to go unmedicated or deny any medicine. I am not a healthcare professional. I am just a friend. We are just hanging out. You're in my room. We are just chatting. I do hope this is helpful. Now, the people that did ask the actual questions are girls that are planning on going unmedicated, and they just kind of want to know, what did I do? So anyways, yeah, let's get started. All right, we got somebody joining us. Remember? So first question, did you take classes for unmedicated? I did not take any physical classes. I would have definitely loved to. I did sign up for a class with my first baby. Her name is Krisha. She's a doula in the DFW area. She is super popular. She got me into one of her classes. We paid for it, and she did recommend for me to go whenever I was 36 weeks. So that was the plan. But then my first baby decided to come at 35 weeks. So we did not make it to our class, obviously. Now, I did take online classes. I took the Mama Natural course, which I highly encourage to take any sort of courses like that, because they really educate you on what is going on with your body. They give you ideas on superfoods and anything like that. So it's a very good educational class. There are so many out there, and a lot of them do like little mini free classes, and I took so many free classes during my second pregnancy. I got like really good points from every single one of them. There was one doula that I found that I didn't know about the first time around. Her program name is called Fearless Mommas, and I just thought like her techniques were amazing. She also offers a free course, and I took her free course, and in that course she actually teaches a pain management technique, which brings me to the next questions. How did you deal with pain? I tried unmedicated and had to tap out. Biggest tip for pain management. First of all, it is very true what everyone says. Birth is a marathon. There is no way you can just go into it if you're planning on going unmedicated, or maybe even not, maybe just in the beginning of your laboring. There's no way you can just go into it without training, without knowing anything, and hoping to have a successful experience. So it really is a marathon. You really do have to train for it mentally. Highly encouraged to prepare yourself. So pain management. If I can give you guys 4 tips, these would be it. I wrote them down here because I really wanted to put good thought in this to truly help you guys out. My first tip is becoming familiar with your body. Going back to the educational courses, definitely that is where I learned a lot about my body. I learned what was going on inside of me, what my uterus was doing, what a contraction looked like, where my baby was. Just understanding and knowing what was going on inside of my body really helped me with pain management, because I could imagine it happening and I understood. I felt familiar. I feel like whenever you feel lost in a situation, it makes you scared, obviously, because you don't know what's happening, you don't know what's gonna happen next, so you're just in this big circle of fear. Versus when you do know what's going on, you do know what's gonna come next, you kind of already know what to expect, you're more calm about it. During my labor, during my contractions, I would close my eyes and I would imagine my uterus contracting, bringing my baby down. I understood that there was going to be pain, but I understood that that was good pain. And because of that, I welcomed the pain. I knew this pain was on my team. It was helping me bring my baby. So all of those things was thanks to the fact that I knew what was going on. So that really helped me with pain management. I am a visual learner, so if you guys are visual learners, look up a video on what it looks like. Look up a uterus contracting, look these things up so you have an actual image in your head. So visual learner tips, I'm definitely a visual learner. So I knew my body already knew what to do. My body was gonna naturally do what it was made for. My job was to allow it to do that. So I needed to stay calm. I needed to control my mind. So that goes to my tip number 2, staying relaxed. But how? You're in so much pain. How can you possibly stay relaxed? If you have a really good imagination, this is where it's gonna come in handy in your life. A lot of courses call this your happy place. So what is your happy place? What is it that makes you truly relaxed? If you could be there right now, where would it be? I feel like naturally as humans, we feel very calm in nature. So when you're in the mountains, when you're by the beach, when you're doing things outside, a lot of times those are happy places for us. Gardening, you know, doing all these activities. We took a trip to Mexico last year, actually while I was pregnant. One of my favorite memories was when we visited an island, and as soon as we stepped out of the boat, we were at the shore of the beach and I didn't even know, and then the wave just hit my feet and that felt so relaxing. I happened to be recording while that was happening, so I actually had a video to look back at that moment. I would just replay that in my mind over and over again. I would imagine the beach waves. I would also like to imagine like something floating on the beach, like a beach ball or a boat, just kind of like floating very calmly, and just imagining the wind, what it smelled like. Try to truly put myself there. Something else that relaxed me was a video that I had just recently took of my toddler. He's dancing with my husband in the kitchen, and that kind of randomly happened during my actual labor. I would close my eyes and I would try to go to the beach, but suddenly my mind would drift to my toddler dancing in the kitchen, and for some reason that was extremely relaxing to me. His smile, the joy he had, all of that really calmed me down. So try to imagine what your place is. What is that place that you just love to go to, you just love to be in, and just keep that in mind. If you're like, I don't really have one, I've never really been somewhere that truly relaxes me, then just look up a video like relaxing places and then look at the pictures, and do you feel like that place really relaxes you? And if so, then keep that picture in your mind. So now that you have that picture, that video, that place in mind, how to deal with the actual pain that you're in that same moment. I fell in love with this one tip, and it took me throughout my whole entire labor, and it just helped me so much. So it's the ice technique. I mentioned earlier that I took a Fearless Mamas free course, so it was free. So I am so grateful for her, because literally she shared this for free, and now I want to share this with you. So it is the ice technique, and I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not before, but I am going to link a video of her actually doing it, because she will explain it a lot better than I would. But basically, you grab some ice, you put it in your palm, just normal, and just try to see how long you can hold it. And it's probably going to be very little, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever, because it's going to burn. So the goal of that is to help you keep the ice in your hand as long as possible. I think this works better if you do it with a partner while practicing, because they can kind of like talk to you and try to relax you and everything. Alex and I, my husband and I, we practice a lot these techniques. I would hold the ice in my hand, and my goal was to keep it in my palm for 2 minutes. And I know 2 minutes does not sound like a long time, but when you are in pain, 2 minutes feel eternal. So what we would do is, as I was holding it, he would talk to me, try to calm me down. I would go to my happy place. I would replay those pictures, the image, the videos. I put myself there. Before I knew it, the 2 minutes were up. I was so relaxed that I wasn't focused on it, and the pain was tolerable. I would also practice relaxing my face, relaxing my feet. I tend to curl up my toes whenever I'm feeling pain, tension. It's like sometimes when something hurts, you tend to like put your elbows up. So all of that, I also practice like, don't do that. Relax, calm your face down, don't let your shoulders go up, calm your hands, calm your feet. I loved that technique. We practiced that so many nights. That is another big tip that I can give, is practice, practice, practice. Like, don't wait until you're actually in labor, until you're actually in pain. Do it before, whenever you're not in pain, so you know what to do. So you just automatically know, okay, this is what I'm gonna do because this is what I've been practicing. And then my breathing. So that is tip number 4, is practice your breathing. The one that helped me the most was just breathing in for 4 seconds, like, and then breathing out for 4 seconds. And I did that over and over and over. Doing 4 rounds of that equaled 1 minute. So knowing that in my mind, I knew kind of when my contraction was gonna go away. I was used to feeling 2 minutes of pain, but contractions usually don't last more than 1.5 minutes. So that really helped me, just kind of knowing, hey, it's almost over, you made it this far, good job. There's so many types of breathing techniques. Whenever she was crowning, the nurses encouraged me to breathe like I was blowing out a candle, like, and that was actually a breathing technique that I did not practice. That one was something that they taught me in that moment, and it was super helpful, and I am very grateful because it really helped me stay calm. So all of that combined, knowing what was happening in my body, going to my happy place and staying relaxed, practicing the actual techniques for the real physical pain, and practicing my breaths, all of that combined is what helped me manage my pain. Somebody asked, was it what you thought it would be like? Yes and no. I am the kind of person that really lives by the saying, expect the worst, hope for the best. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting it to be a lot worse. I am not a superhuman. I really do believe if I could do it, anyone can do it. You just have to train your mindset. It's all about mindset. In my opinion, it's higher than anything else. Of course, physically is like goes right after that. You physically have to stay active and, you know, do your stretches, which I also did. If I would have done all that, but I was super scared and I would have freaked out and I would have like panicked, then I feel like all of that would have just gone out the door. I also recommend to stay active and do your stretches. Like I said, I followed Krisha and she shows so many good techniques, and I copied a lot of hers and I kept a lot of those in mind during my labor. So obviously I'm not saying don't stretch or do all that, it's part of it, but I feel like mindset is the most important thing. Mindset, knowing you can do it, practicing, this is your marathon, relaxing, all of that is very important. If you become scared, if you start to tense up, your body naturally thinks you're in danger and it makes everything a lot harder. We are mammals. We were created like that. Right, Mama? I have so much to tell you when you're older. Would you have done anything different? Yes. I was so focused on training for labor that I did not really train myself for the actual crowning part, which is the most intense part out of the whole experience. So the ring of fire came around, all these things were happening, and my body did freak out in that moment. At that moment, it's a little too late. If I was like, oh, I want the epidural, it's too late. It's already, she's already coming out. So I really wished I would have practiced more for when that was happening. There is this one girl that I follow on YouTube. I did a lot of her pregnancy stretching and workouts and all of that, and there was a video that she made specifically on pushing positions and breathing techniques while the baby was crowning. And I remember I watched it once, and I wish I would have put more thought into it, so whenever that moment came, I knew more what to do. That one did catch me off guard. It caught my husband off guard because we didn't practice. But I do have to say that is the fastest and quickest part of the entire journey of laboring, because laboring was hours long and the crowning part for me was 5 minutes long. And a lot of people tell me it's the most intense and painful part, but it is the quickest. So that's something I would have done different. Would you do unmedicated again? Yes. If I'm blessed with another baby, I would love to go through the unmedicated route again if possible. Comparing both of your birth stories, this one was easier. Yes, I would definitely say this one was easier. So with my first baby, like I mentioned in the beginning, he came at 35 weeks, so he was considered premature. My body wasn't contracting. I feel like my body was kind of caught off guard and it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. So I did have to get induced. Now with my first baby, I was going through a birthing center, so I was being seen by midwives and everything, and I loved that experience so much. The day my water broke, one of the midwives told me, I know you were trying to go unmedicated, but if I were you, I would get the epidural. And that was crazy because their center is all about unmedicated. It's all about natural. And so the fact that she was saying that, I was like, oh wow, like they really are that bad, like contractions are really that bad. She said what I was gonna feel were not gonna be like the natural contractions, they were gonna be contractions on steroids. So she was recommending that I did the epidural. And of course, I tried to still not get the epidural. I lasted 16 hours trying to labor and there was not much progress. I only dilated 4 centimeters. It was not going very well. I was not very relaxed. I was not very prepared. So I ended up getting the epidural. It is like magic juice. You do not feel anything anymore. I know I've heard experiences of people that still do feel some pain. I did not feel any more pain after that, and I couldn't feel my contractions, so they had to tell me when to push, and I was mentally completely in the moment. That part was very relaxing. So the fact that I could be in that moment is something that I would definitely not give back because I truly enjoyed it. Thanks to that is the reason why I wanted to have another baby, because that part was just so enjoyable. But then again, there was no pain involved, there was nothing like that involved, and then I got a baby out of it. So if I could combine that moment with the unmedicated route, that would be like the perfect birth there ever was. Going unmedicated actually was shorter. I was not in labor as long, and I know they say your second one does come faster, so that could also be part of the reason. One of the courses that I took said that the more natural you go, the less it's gonna hurt. And that is very true for me. Whenever I was induced versus when my body naturally went into labor, it was a lot less painful than the first time. So yes, I would say my second birth was a lot easier. And I didn't tear, which is another plus, another bonus. There's 2 questions left that Alex and I already answered, so I'm going to include them here. It's, how were you able to help as a husband? My wife is due in a couple of months. And will there be a baby bonilla number 3? So I will insert those clips here. Will there be a baby bonilla number 3?
That's none of your business. I'm just kidding. Probably not.
Honestly, I would love to be pregnant again. I would love to go through all of that all over again. All over again.
All over again.
I love being pregnant. I love giving birth. But I think for the moment, we're not planning on having a third baby. But if it happens, I would be really excited for a third baby.
It happens.
If it happens, it happens.
How were you able to help as a husband? My wife is due in a couple months.
Congratulations.
All right, man. Listen up. Help her out as in during labor. Just try to keep your cool and be a support system. Do not take it personal if in the moment she does not want your help. Do not take anything that she's going through in that moment personal, because she is not herself in the moment. She's feeling excruciating pain, and so just do whatever she asks, pretty much like your whole marriage. Now just be there as much as you can. Ask her what to do in certain scenarios. Like if she starts feeling anxious, ask her what she wants you to tell her.
Every girl is going to be different. Like some girls are going to be like, I want you to be with me in every second, and there's going to be that I want to do this kind of on my own. I remember for me, I wanted you just to be along with me. Like I didn't want you to tell me what to do. Like try to think of this, try to think of, like, I don't want you to tell me to do anything. I just wanted you to count for me. Just count my breaths, tell me good job. Just that reassurance was all I wanted to hear at that moment.
The most of your job is going to be after, though. Postpartum, you're going to have a lot of stuff to do. You have to pick up a lot of slack. I'm not sure what your work schedule is or whatever, but you're going to have to work and work and work. So work in your job and work when you get home. Keep the house clean. If you have more kids, take care of them. You're just a support system, and that's basically what a husband and a dad is for the whole life. We're a support system. Is she going to be a Cowboys fan? Oh my gosh, of course not. In this household, we don't force teams on our kids.
I always say yes. They are Cowboys
by
fans
default, because she was born here.
Until they decide otherwise. We're gonna get canceled because I'm sure there's a lot of Cowboys fans hardcore out there.
Nobody's perfect.
So thank you, Alex, for joining. I know you gotta go soon, but thank you for being with us. And I'm gonna continue the rest of the Q&A.
My little one.
And with that, we are ending the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful. I will link as many people down below as I can of the people I mentioned in this video that I felt like were really helpful for me whenever I was trying to prepare myself for labor. Is it time to eat? Amelia and I wish you guys all well. We wish you guys a successful laboring, a successful birth, but most of all, a healthy baby and a healthy mama. Thank you guys for tagging along and hanging out with us today. We hope to see you all in our next video. Bye. Say bye-bye.